आज के वोसा राउंड अप में आपको बताएंगे अक़वाम मुत्तहिदा में ख़वातीन के हुकूक के लिए मुनक्किद मुकालमे का अहवाल, जिसमें कम्यूनिटी के नुमाइंदा, तंज़ीमों के मुंतज़िमीन और अराकीन के अलावा अमरीकी ऑफिशल्स ने भी शिरकत की। कम्यूनिटी खिदमत अंजाम देने वालों की सत्ताइश की गई, जबकि गुलकार शेर अहमद जान ने दोस्ती का पैगाम दिया। तो आज का वोसा राउंड अप ख़वातीन के नाम। माशरे में ख़वातीन के साथ इम्तियाजी सलूक के खिलाफ मज़ाहमत और कम्यूनिटीज़ की यकजहती के मौज़ूआत पर डीप रीच, प्रोग्रेसिव अमेरिकन कम्यूनिटी एम्पावरमेंट पेस, अमेरिकन टेलीफिजिशंस और ब्लू रिज कंसल्टिंग कंपनी के मुश्तरका कोशिशों से अक़वाम मुत्तहिदा में एक मुकालमा हुआ, जिसका आगाज़ शेर जान अहमद के गाए गए अनप्लग नग़मे मोन्टाज दोस्ती से हुआ। पेस के सरबराह सईद हसन ने इस्तकबालिया देते हुए पैनल में शरीक मेहमानों का तारुफ करवाया, जबकि बाकायदा निजामत के लिए ब्लू रिज की CEO और फाउंडर अमीना जिया को बुलाया।
American telephysicians and the Blue Ridge Consulting Company, I want to welcome you today at the United Nations 67 CSW talk. Deputy Police Commissioner Risco mentioned Lewis from Suffolk County area. Vanessa Beard Streeter, is the Suffolk County Deputy County Executive. Thank you so much for being here. The list goes on and on and on, but I really wanted to thank you. And we have Linda Lee, our councilwoman. We work together, and I'm so happy. She was not feeling well, but she said, "Saeed, I'm coming." And a lot of my friends who later you will get to hear them and they'll be introduced.
ब्लू रिज की अमीना जिया ने शुरका का शुक्रिया अदा किया।
The United Nations allows civil society this space so we can come together to harness and leverage the power of community engagement, the power of building inclusive communities and inclusive societies, and that's why we are all here today.
आज की नशिस्त ख्यालात और मालूमात के तबादले के लिए भी कारगर साबित हुई। न्यूयॉर्क में पाकिस्तानी काउंसिल जनरल आयशा अली का कहना था कि कम्युनिटीज के आपसी रवाबित को मौसर बनाने के लिए इक़दामात पर बेहद खुशी है।
It is such an honor and a privilege to be among so many leaders and motivated individuals from all walks of life who have gathered here today during the United Nations 67th session on Commission on the Status of Women. And I would also be speaking to you from a very important perspective of connecting the communities, which is basically my job here as the Consul General in New York. So thank you again for this opportunity, because this provides us the space to share best practices, to exchange ideas, to be under the same roof, and to talk about so many of the important issues of today. And for me, empowerment of women is really on the top of this agenda. Wonderful to see so many women leaders. Thank you for being here today.
हुकूक इंसानियत के तहफ़्फ़ुज़ के लिए आवाज़ बुलंद करना अमीना जिया का न सिर्फ शार है, बल्कि अक़वाम मुत्तहिदा के साथ मिलकर हर फोरम पर वो खिदमात अंजाम दे रही हैं। अमीना जिया ने पैनलिस्ट का तारुफ करवाया।
Given that we have a lot of ground to cover, I respectfully remind and ask panelists to please keep your remarks brief and under the 2-minute mark. I know that can be really difficult to do sometimes, but let's be respectful of everyone's time and try to do that. At the end of our event, I will invite our esteemed audience to share information about your organizations, the work that you do, your contact information. Please exchange information with each other, because this space today, we want it to serve as a space where we can all connect so we can potentially collaborate in the future. At this time, I request our first panel to approach the front of the room. This panel includes Council Member Linda Lee, Deputy County Executive Vanessa Baird-Streeter, Mr. Saeed Hassan, Mr. Adnan Bukhari, and Mr. Mark Soto.
सफोक काउंटी की डिप्टी काउंटी एग्जीक्यूटिव वेनेसा बैरड स्ट्रीटर ने इजहार ख्याल करते हुए कहा कि आज के वक्त की जरूरत कम्युनिटीज का आपस में मजबूत रिश्ता है.
All of us here, we have to work together to ensure that community is being served, that we are united, as Pace is speaking about, that we can live in a society where we are not judged by the color of our skin, but by the content of our character, as Dr. Martin Luther King said. So I have to tell you, I'm very blessed and happy to be in the position that I'm in, and it doesn't happen just esoterically. It happens because you have good leadership. Police reform and reinvention is really important, but one of the announcements that we just made recently within the last 2 weeks is civilian oversight of police misconduct cases. So meaning the investigatory process now has civilians as part of the review. So to ensure that when you are engaged and when the police department is engaged in the investigatory process of police misconduct, that there's another set of eyes that are looking to ensure that when you have that final determination of whether that police officer is exonerated or their claim is substantiated.
पेस के फाउंडर सईद हसन ने तंजीमी खिदमात का जिक्र करते हुए उसकी अहमियत और इत्तेका पर रोशनी डाली.
PACE is a non-profit 501c3 at New York State. You saw the slides of all the work that we do to bring communities together. PACE is a platform where we have this PACE Talk forum going on all year round. To answer your question, we just started it because we felt that there was a need of this platform. So what recently happened, if you see, we were covered by Long Island Heralds, and then we were covered by Newsday for our first halal pantry, which you will hear more about from my friends here. So recently we were invited, we had a talk at a Long Island Care, where they were telling us how more we can do these partnerships. This is the first time, we heard of, I think, and Mark will agree with me. So that's what we're trying to promote. So we go to a town, we say we're going to work with you. So that's why. So this is the strategy that we're going to apply, and now I think a lot of people with young children and seniors that need our help. So we're going to be starting our delivery system.
अदनान बुखारी ने मुख्तलिफ अकाइयों की यकजहती बारे बात करते हुए कहा कि यह सफर न्यूयॉर्क सिटी काउंसिल, लिंडा ली और अमीना जिया के ताउन के बिना नामुकम्मल है.
Why reinvent a wheel? What we do or what we have done differently from many other organizations, instead of reinventing a wheel, we collaborate. We collaborate this way, we empower ourselves and we share our power with the other groups, and this is the way we have been collaborating with many different diverse groups in Long Island and outside Long Island within the 5 boroughs, and we could have not done it without the involvement and leadership and support of women leaders like Linda Lee. And of course, Amina, you have been with us in this journey since the beginning when we started this back in 2015 and 17.
ब्लू रिज कंसल्टिंग की अमीना जिया ने इसके बाद मार्क सोटो का तारुफ करवाते हुए लब कुशाई के लिए दावत दी. मार्क सोटो ने बच्चों और खवातीन के हुकूक से मुतालिक आगाही पर जोर दिया.
But as an advocate and an ally and a champion of women, and in particular women of color, it's imperative that PACE continue to speak for those who are underserved, for the allocation of resources and all of the things that are necessary in order to address the family. And the family, more often than not, is led by women. So we are proud to partner and collaborate and follow extraordinary leaders like Vanessa Baird-Streeter and our commissioner and all the leaders that are in our communities to continue to do the things necessary to hold our elected officials accountable, right? To do the things so that the resources are allocated to important things for women.
امینہ ضیاء نے آج کی نشست کی مقصدیت پر بات کرتے ہوئے کہا کہ کمیونٹیز کا آپس میں میل جول بڑھانا مسائل کا بہترین حل ہے.
And at this moment, I would like to recognize that, when we talk about collaborating and building something together, something like an ecosystem that works, that takes time. It takes commitment. It takes people to partner. It takes difficult and challenging conversations that Saab and Adnan and I, we've had many times. But it also takes this mindset that we're going to work together and we're going to do something for the betterment of the community.
سیوک ایسوسی ایشن کے صدر جو بیکر نے ایک دوسرے کے احترام اور تہذیب و تمدن کو سمجھنے پر سیر حاصل گفتگو کی.
Saeed attended one of my meetings and he followed me outside. He goes, "We have to get together." He said, "How do you feel about that?" I says, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Let's have some meetings. We need to promote cultural diversity. We need to fight things like anti-Semitism. We need people to get together." So anyway, with the music that we had before, let's imagine if we could all get together and get along.
کمیونٹی خدمات میں اپنا لوحہ منوانے والے افراد کو سائٹیشنز دی گئیں.
And we want to record, thank you. All right, you can stand. Amina Zia, okay. And I think you have Amina. We have to recognize people when they do hard work and really appreciate that. And next one is Nick Salim. You can keep on clapping, we'll be here for a while. Okay. Nick is here with pilot position. And then we have Huma Hamid. These are also our panelists. Dr. Shala Naqvi, please. Atiya Shahnaz, she's at the mayor office. Thank you, Jocelyn, for all your work. Iram Awan.
بلیو رج کی امینہ ضیاء نے فاؤنڈر اور CEO امریکن ٹیلی فزیشنز ڈاکٹر وقاص احمد کا تعارف پیش کیا.
Although this is commendable progress, we know that simply connecting people is not the end goal, right? So we know that just by connecting people, that doesn't mean that key barriers to women's meaningful access has been broken, specifically around knowledge and awareness of digital skills barriers. In our expert group meetings that took place in October of 2022, in preparation for this particular commission, the gender and digital access gaps and barriers were discussed. Specifically, the organization American Telephysicians participated and shared their views on what is the next step.
ڈاکٹر وقاص احمد نے پاکستان سے امریکہ آنے اور کامیابی کے سفر کی داستان بیان کی.
I am an immigrant. I moved to US back in 2007 to do my residency training. I did my medical college from Pakistan. And before I tell about the story of my journey, how I turned from a physician to an entrepreneur, and we built this entire virtual healthcare company, I must tell, because of this, this event is also focused on by the UN Commission of the Women. These are the women who are part of my life. I built this company because of my mother's help. My wife is the one who really helped me a lot. And then there are other women who really have played a big role, including Amina Zia and Jocelyn working like this, and Sherry Johnson, for example. All these, and why I'm mentioning this, it's a proverb that says the healthy mother produces healthy children. Educated woman can actually produce an entire educated generation. In today's world, I must tell, a woman leader produces an entire generation of leaders, and that's assumed. So thank you all of you, the women who are part of this entire journey in creating much impact. We as a company, American Telephysician, was founded in 2017. And I want to tell you, the journey was that I wanted to help my mother, my parents. Whenever they come to US, they did not have any insurance. Big challenge.
ڈاکٹر وقاص احمد نے ٹیلی فزیشن کے طریقہ کار اور ضرورت سے متعلق اظہار خیال کیا.
We started services, setting up on-site clinics in the senior living facilities. And then a big chunk is people who don't have insurance. A lot of visitors come here, and they are people who are 1099, part-time workers, don't know what price transparency. We build and roll our one-stop healthcare app, Cure for You, which brings a lot of ancillary services with price transparency. Same MRI, which I paid $1,800. We have over 900 radiology centers, and the cost starts from maybe $350 or $400 without insurance. The blood work, which I paid $120 just for CBC with insurance, $9. We're seeing a lot of women physicians who maybe were not practicing full-time, mother physicians taking care of families and all these things there. They are joining, and they are now becoming part of the workforce. And this is particularly happened in Pakistan, where we launched first project. When I talked about my mother care, I'll talk more on the international side. This was where we launched first this project in Pakistan with name Shifa for You, same ecosystem. And this ecosystem really helped a lot during COVID. A lot of patients, including my own uncle, my dad's younger brother, unfortunately died of COVID because it was too late for us to identify that his oxygen saturation was low for many days. Need oxygen, utilize the same technology and call center, deliver oxygen at home, at least stabilize unless they find a bed. We also established during this connected our physicians from the US.
कम्युनिटी की सरकर्दा खवातीन हुकूक निस्वां और कनेक्टिंग कम्युनिटीज के लिए क्या किरदार अदा कर सकती हैं, इस पर बात करते हुए मुस्लिम लाइजन ऑफिसर मेयर ऑफिस न्यूयॉर्क अतिया शहनाज का कहना था कि खवातीन को तकनीकी बुनियादों पर बाइख्तियार बनाना बेहतर माशरे की बुनियाद है।
As we gather here, it's important to acknowledge the challenge that minority communities face when it comes to being integrated into mainstream system. I think we see time and time again this challenge around the world, but I believe the community-based organization can tackle this issue very easily. So we have to what kind of the points we can raise through the community-based organization. However, I believe the community-based organization have an important role to play in helping to address this issue. One way by providing opportunities for members of minority communities to engage with mainstream society. This could involve organizing event activities that brings members of different communities together, such as the cultural festivals, sports tournaments, or community service projects.
आज का प्रोग्राम नौयत और मौजू के एतबार से बेहतरीन प्रोग्राम रहा, जिसमें की गई गुफ्तगू से ये अंदाज़ा लगाना मुश्किल नहीं कि माशरे के हर फर्द को दूसरे फर्द का न सिर्फ एहतराम करना चाहिए बल्कि बाहमी रवाबित के लिए किरदार बतौर सफ़ीर अदा करना चाहिए।